Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Hi, it's Nardwuar, the Human Serviette here, and we're live from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, doing the Wedge here with the Evaporators. That's my band, and that's Scott, and that's John, and the Evaporators. We're going to be taking you on a tour of Vancouver that you don't usually see. Of course, it never rains on the Wedge, does it? It never rains in Vancouver when you watch much music. But here we are, right here. Scott, hold this for a second. Let's just talk about this. This right here is Hillside Secondary School. This is where I went to school. They have wrecked this school. They have leveled this school completely. This school was made in 1959, and they've wrecked it. They're selling it for real estate deals. Now you say, the importance of this school. What's the importance of Hillside Secondary School? Well, aside from going to school here, and again, this is the Wedge and much music, we're giving you a tour of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm Nardwuar, that's the Evaporators. This school housed the guy. Remember a little while ago in the news, Gillian Anderson was involved with a gentleman, perhaps allegedly? Well, he went to school right here, but the evidence has been destroyed. There's no evidence that anybody that ever knew Gillian Anderson ever went to school. Furthermore, this school, in my grad 1986 at Hillside Secondary School, Melissa Stubbs was in this class. And you know what? At my grad 10-year reunion, yes, I'm not old, I discovered that Melissa now is the body double for Drew Barrymore. And she's also the body double for Alyssa Silverstone. Drew Barrymore. Again, the Wedge. This is Nardwuar and the Evaporators giving you a tour of Vancouver. A tour of Vancouver you've never seen before. Drew Barrymore on the Wedge. Story, speaking about picking butts in Vancouver. Do you remember anything about that? You did some bed scenes with a local VJ called Terry David Mulligan. Do you remember that at all?
I had a couple scenes with a couple boys. They just work, you know?
I meant your body double. I meant the body double for you.
Body double was doing a hell of a lot more bed thingy than I was, and they released it and said it was me, and it wasn't, because I wouldn't do that.
So how did you get into those clubs when you were like 8 years old? I read the story. I read Little Girl Lost. Got it for $1. Actually, they had it at the front of the place. How did you get in those clubs when you're 8? And like,
well,
really?
Obviously, you didn't read the book then.
No, well, you didn't reveal too much in the book. No, did you, Drew Barrymore? I was looking for some good...
Me to reveal.
This is my synopsis. Nardwuar, Human Serviette synopsis of the Drew Barrymore, Little Girl Lost. Not enough dirt in there. But you had an amazing Drew Barrymore. You had a #1 bestseller when you were how old? Drew Barrymore.
The back of the movie world. The back of the movie world.
Here we are on the Wedge here, live from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm Nardwuar, the Human Serviette. These are the Evaporators, and we're trying to show you in Vancouver the sights maybe you haven't seen before. You're probably looking at the street and going, we've seen this city. We've seen this street. Why are you showing it to us? Well, take a look at this building over there. It's 666 Burrard. I know there's a lot of streets that probably have the address 666, but interestingly about this street here, when they're constructing this building here at 66 Burrard in Vancouver, 666 Burrard, they interfered with the foundations of that building over there. What is that building over there? Christ's Church. Isn't that weird? When they were building this building here, 666 Burrard, it interfered with the church, which is located at 668 Burrard. Right now, speaking of the Antichrist, we're going to show a little clip of an interview I did with Michael Moore. I love doing interviews for CITR Radio, a college radio station in Vancouver, Canada. And in this little interview here, Michael Moore, videographer, talks all about the Antichrist, the Wedge from Vancouver. Influence, though, do these executives have? Did they force you to hire, like, Karen MTV Duffy? What was she doing on, there? What was she doing on TV Nation?
What are you, this is a prime example of what people that drink too much coffee here in this part of the country,
Karen MTV Duffy, why was she? Louis Theroux, he was way better.
How many hours a day do you spend at Starbucks, sir? You've got to calm down.
Karen MTV Duffy, what's the explanation behind her?
What do you mean, what's the explanation behind her? Look at her, damn it. She's great. What are you talking about?
How can you single people out? Isn't it kind of scary to single these executives up? I understand you're going to be picketing outside of Nike. Isn't it dangerous? I mean, you're targeting these people. These people killed Kennedy, Michael Moore. Aren't you a bit worried?
Okay, I'm convinced now. It's not coffee. It's crack. The guy is on crack. What was the question? I forgot the question.
The question here was, Roger Smith was a bad guy. Roger was a bad guy. Does that make Bill Gates a good guy because he's hiring lots of people? Bill Gates, computer age, is he a good guy, Michael Moore?
Bill Gates is the Antichrist.
But he's hiring people.
No, he's the Antichrist. The Antichrist will always come. It says it in the Bible in Revelations chapter 6. No, I'm telling you. Listen, I'm giving you a Bible lesson, damn it. Listen to me. You know, Bill Gates, he has come here to hire a lot of people and to shift the technology into a situation where he will rule the world.
Are they trying to mellow you out by, you know, like the TV Nation? Now you're doing Canadian Bacon, you're writing sitcoms. What's going on? Like, please don't give up, Michael Moore.
Yeah,
like, they're kind of pushing it at home.
I won't let you down, I promise. I promise. I promise, I promise. I won't let you down.
And here we are on the Wedge. We're still on the Wedge. It's the Evaporators on the Wedge here, doing some sights here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And here we are at a very, very important monument. This here is the Japanese Hall, where the very first punk gig happened in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. This is the Furies and the Dish Rags played here at the Japanese Hall. The Furies were a band led by a guy called Chris Arnett. The drummer for the Furies later on played with Pill. Amazing. Now, the most interesting thing about the gig, the first punk gig, yes, you've been to Smiling Buddha with 50 for 40, but this is where the first punk gig happened at Japanese Hall. The Dish Rags opened this gig. The Dish Rags were the first punks on stage in Vancouver in this building right here on July 30th, 1977. Nardwuar, the Human Serviette here with the Wedge, guest hosting with members of my band, the Evaporators, giving you a tour of sites in Vancouver you may not have heard or seen about before. Right here we are at 1310 Burnaby Street in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. What could be here? Well, in this book right here, How Come I'm Dead by Glenn MacDonald, it lists that Errol Flynn died here at 1310 Burnaby Street. Errol Flynn died right here. It was said, perhaps, that Errol Flynn's member was actually taken off and shown in a circus sideshow. This is not the case, as proven in his book, How Come I'm Dead, by Glenn MacDonald. Errol Flynn's death place here, on the Wedge, Nardwuar, the Human Serviette, and Evaporators showing a bit of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And speaking of members and things extricated, there's a famous B-movie actor that some of you only know by the name as the Hedgehog. His name, Ron Jeremy. I had a chance to catch up to this famous B-movie actor and ask all about his members when he came through Vancouver. The Evaporators, Nardwuar, the Human Serviette, live here on the Wedge at Errol Flynn's death place. This is where Errol Flynn died. Errol Flynn died here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada in 1959. Special looks for the camera, perhaps? You know, one of those classic Ron Jeremy, you know, looking at the end, you know, the movies, you know?
No, I don't. Wait, the eyebrow lift. Wait. Want to see the whole scalp? Watch this. One ear. This ear. This one. Nose. Who can do... Oh, kiss my own. I ain't gonna do that.
Elephant? Can you do elephant?
Oh, you're very good. The elephant's when you pull it out of your pants, pull your pockets out of each side. Milton Berle did this. You pull out the pocket of each, part of your pants, and you have your thing come out of the middle, and you go back and forth and go... make elephant noises, you know? I can't do that here, though, because... Can you show penises on this TV show?
Sure, go ahead. We'd love to see it.
Now that's a lot of pressure.
And keep on rocking the free world and doot doodaloot doo.
What am I supposed to say after that? Oh, doot. I gotta look dumb on Canadian television.
Still more historical tidbits to come up on the Wedge here. But right now, we're in Vancouver, BC, Canada at the Red Hot Video. This location was firebombed by the Squamish Five in 1980. A member of the Squamish Five, Jerry Hanna, played bass for the Subhumans, a great Vancouver punk rock band. And the Wedge is over for today. I'm Nardwuar, the Human Serviette. These are the Evaporators. We've been taking you a tour on Vancouver spots you may not have seen anywhere else. We didn't make it to the Dairy Queen, where Dorothy Star 80 Stratton hanged out and worked. We didn't make it to Bruno Drusi's house, but there's one last place for us to check out. That's Rasputin Restaurant here, 455 West Broadway. Is it true Pavel Bure eats borscht here?
Of course, that's his favorite place.
And the jersey is on the wall to prove
That's the proof right here. That's 100% proof.
So come to Rasputin Restaurant, check out the borscht, because Pavel Bure eats here.
That's right.
But don't forget...
Don't forget, please, that
I mean, this is the important thing. This is Rasputin, who's trampled by horses and stuff. But we're the Evaporators. It's coming to an end here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. A little tour here today. And we're going to cut to the pointed sticks. It's got nothing to do with Russian food. It's got to do with Chinese food. The pointed sticks were a band from Vancouver. They broke up in 1980. But here's a song that is called Lies. Everything we're telling you today could be lies. We love you, then Wedge out.